morning, y'all. Listen, we're going to make a bread pudding today because I got 9 little girls coming over here. Come here, Banks. Say hi. Banks decided she wanted to spend the night party since school was fixing to be out. And so we're going to have a spend the night party. And I'm going to make some bread pudding. And it's in your recipe book on page 109 in this one. The last one. And you see that old tin pan right there that I made it in? Well, here it is. It's my pan. And so I'm going to use the same one. That way y'all will know that you can just use your oldest pan. So let's get out all our stuff. All right, Banks, you start cracking eggs, baby. And we're going to get this show on the road. Because all these young'uns coming. Y'all, when summer's here like this, y'all have your grandbabies over and y'all do something fun. If you can get them out of the bed.
Yeah, that's true. I barely got out of the bed.
You barely got out. Were you just being lazy or just sleeping?
I was just sleeping.
Well, talk loud enough for them to hear you.
I was sleepy. I got home at 9 o'clock last night 10 o'clock last night from dress rehearsal.
All right, tell them about what you're going to be doing in dress rehearsal. Dress rehearsal for what? Are you going to play?
Showcase. I'm in a dance performance.
A dance performance. What you going to be in the dance performance?
Well, the theme for ballet is jewels, and I'm a sapphire.
Oh.
And then I'm doing a contemporary and a jazz dance.
So I'm going to go, y'all. I'm going to watch her. And I'm going to remember the day when I could move like that. All right, it's got 5 eggs. It takes 4 cups of milk. So gently pour that in and stir it with that whisk, if you will. And I'll pour the sugar in. It takes 2½ cups. We got 2 hands going. All right. And then gently do it. Here you go. Mix that up. And it's going to take some cinnamon. Let me get out my cinnamon. All right, y'all, it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And listen, this recipe, y'all, calls for, that's probably good enough right there. Let me put this in and stir it around. For a loaf of your French bread, but let me say this. I'm using leftover biscuits, or if you've got some old, go ahead. If you've got some old white bread in your refrigerator or pantry, or some leftover biscuits, or some rolls, or some hamburger buns, or hot dog buns, it doesn't matter what bread you're putting in it. It is bread pudding, so whatever you've got that you need to use up. And so what I had today were leftover biscuits. And sometimes if I have leftovers, I give them to the birds, but I'm not doing that today. Well, there's one less biscuit we got. Here you go. There's our leftover biscuits. And I'm just going to put them in this pan, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. Let me put a little bit of vanilla. I'm not going right by the recipe today, and the reason I'm not is because the recipe calls for fruit cocktail, and I do not have any fruit cocktail. So we're just going to use what we got. Uh-oh, it's a new thing. I got to open it. Little vanilla flavor. We're going to put a teaspoon of this in there. Look how that stuff runs away from the vanilla. There's something in it. All right. Okay, let's do up our biscuits. Right? Oh, I forgot to put the raisins. I'm putting 1/2 cup of raisins. Your recipe in your book calls for golden. I didn't have any golden. Hey, what have I said for 2 years? Use what you've got. So here goes 1/2 cup of golden. Of regular raisins. You like to eat one? I'm gonna eat 2. All right, set that over to the side over there, and let's crumble up these biscuits. And we'll pour it over it. I don't know how many we're gonna need, y'all. We've got our new lights set up. I want to show y'all. This is a new light somebody gave me, and look over there. There's another one. So I feel like y'all can really see us today. All our skin blemishes. Okay, let's see. I think, all right, so what have I got? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 biscuits. I've got a baker's dozen. All right, so what we're going to do is take them and just kind of do like that and kind of hunks. Go ahead. They don't have to be real small. Just break them up a little. We're going to make a really good topping to go on it. And it's going to be what?
What are we doing?
What's it going to be when we get through?
What do you mean?
It's going to be good, y'all.
Well.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, my friends love saying that.
Do they? When y'all something happens, they say it's going to be good, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 9 little girls coming. I'm so excited. They're all going to sleep in the same bedroom. I don't know. We may have to hang them from the wall up there. All right, so there we got that. And so all we're going to do now is pour this over the top of that. Now what happens, y'all, is this custard part, it will thicken up because we've got 5 eggs in it. We're going to cook it on 350 degrees, and then I'm going to show y'all how to make the top of it. You want all your bread covered. And this is something you can make the night before. What you do is you make it up. Oh my gosh, look at there. They all wound up in one spot. Let me do this. Move them around a little so we don't air. They sunk.
Put some right there.
Okay.
Over here.
We want everybody to get a bite. There we go. So whatever bread you have left, make sure that you that it has some liquid on it. So if you have to, you may have to gently push it down in there. Now this is the part that you can make the day before. You could just have it ready, and like if you want a morning, you could just stick it in the oven in the morning, and then you'd have bread pudding. And you could put fruit in it if you want to. You can make a rum salts or a vanilla salts, and I'm making a vanilla salts. The recipe tells you how to do a rum salts, but I'm going to make vanilla salts today. So we're going to pop this in the oven on 350 until it's barely jiggly. Now, do you know what barely jiggly means?
It barely moves.
Barely moves. That's exactly right. And so don't overcook it, because you don't want it to be dry. You want it to be soft and fluffy, okay? Okay, we'll talk to y'all in a little bit, and we'll put it all together, the topping, and put it on it, and then we'll take a bite. Okay, our pie, our bread pudding is in the oven on 350. And so now we're going to fix our topping. So when it comes off, while it's still warm, we're going to put this topping over it. So I need some pecans in my topping, and I'm going to use some priesters. I need to measure. Wait a minute. We're going to do a couple pecans. This is fancy pieces, but I may use it like this instead of, but I think what I'm going to do is kind of rough chop it, because I want it, there we go. Because I want it a little bit smaller than this. So I'm just going to pour these out, and I'm not going to cut it real little. You want it kind of chunky. So I'm just going to kind of cut it here and there. Now you folks that, I know that when y'all go into the beach, y'all always stop at Priesters and get you some pecans. They've got a little tasting bar they used to have there. And you can, that way you can taste the pecans and see which kind you like, which kind you want to buy, whether it's caramel or lemon flavor. They've got a lime flavor. They got all kind of flavors. But personally, I love just a plain old pecan. All right, that's small enough. See, I just don't want it real tiny. Okay, now we're going to, I'm going to sit that to the side a little bit. You're going to get your skillet. This is going to be your topping. We're going to put 1 egg in it. We're going to put, let me beat that up. We're going to put 2 things of, 2 sticks of butter, and it's salted. Now into this, I'm going to put 2 cups of sugar. If you want to cut your sugar down because of having somebody in your family that can't eat it, then cut it down, y'all. Just cut it down if you want to. I'm about out of sugar. I'm going to have to tilt my thing over here. That is for sure. All right. Y'all, in the recipe book, do y'all see this little picture right here? Do you see that one? Right. Let me look. Right there. That is an old picture. Let me show it to you up close and personal. It's over here on my, I keep it right over here. And I've got little tiny spoons in it. Let me show you something. Here it is, right here. Turn it back around this way. See that? That's it. That's the one that's in here. I like to look at the recipe book because then I see what I cooked it in. See that? That's it right there. And I have these tiny little spoons in it. I've got one grandchild that loves, she loves, put this in with your egg, y'all. She loves little spoons. She'll come here and if she can eat her ice cream with a little bitty spoon, she's so excited. She is excited to do it. See how little they are? They look almost like little baby spoons. It's Isabella. She's the one that likes them. Look at that one. They're cute, aren't they? Anyway, I thought I'd show y'all that. I keep it in my kitchen. I like little tiny pictures like that. That one's an old one. Okay, now I'm going to go melt my butter. I'm not going to get it real hot. I'm just going to melt it gently in here and then mix it because I don't want my egg to cook. That's not fitting in there. Why didn't y'all tell me that? Now I got something extra to have to wash. Let me put it in here. There we go. Let me go put it in the microwave. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go over it one more time with you because your topping's what makes it. I love it like that. But anyway, 1 egg, 2 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, which I hadn't put in yet, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 cup of chopped pecans, and 2 sticks of melted butter, which I just went over there and melted it in my microwave. Has everybody got a microwave? I mean, I don't like how they look in the kitchen. I don't like it. It doesn't look good, but I have to have it. Seems like. I guess in the olden days they didn't have one though, did they? That's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. This gives it an extra good flavor, y'all. I'm telling you. And we're gonna put in a teaspoon of vanilla. I hope the girls like it tonight. They're trying to figure out where everybody's gonna sleep. Wait a minute, there's somebody at the door, hold on. Okay, y'all, it was the insurance man. But anyway, I've got my cinnamon, I've got my vanilla in there, and you're gonna stir this around real good. And then you're gonna slowly put your butter in and make sure that your butter is not too hot because it'll cook that egg, and you don't want that to happen. And then we're going to heat this up on the oven, up on the top of the stove. And when our bread pudding comes out, this will be your topping. And it'll be kind of thick. Okay? Just like that. And now we're going to put in our cup of pecans. Let me get them in here and we'll be ready to have some bread pudding today. That's all it is to the topping. And that egg is gonna make it have a real pretty glossy look. And it'll be delicious, okay? All right, that's it. I'm not gonna cook it right now. I'm gonna wait until the bread pudding comes out and, you know, and kind of cools off just a little bit. And then we'll put the topping on it, okay? See you in a little bit. Okay, y'all, it's time to get our pie out. I'm gonna show you what a slight jiggle means. Oh, it looks good. Glory. Now watch. See if you can see that jiggling. You see that jiggle? That means it's ready. So I'm gonna sit it right here and turn my oven off and let it cool just a few minutes, and then we're gonna cook this and put it on top of it. All right, y'all, the pie has cooled, and now we're gonna cook this. And I want to tell you, the pie took about 50 minutes. And it's got a slight jiggle in it. You want a slight jiggle. Just don't overcook it. When it starts thickening up, it's ready. So we've got all of our stuff in here, and we're going to stir this around and cook it. Make sure that egg is cooked. And then we're going to pour it over the top of it. And that'll be a good thing. You can make all kinds of toppings. I know one time I read where some people on top of their bread pudding, they took chocolate chips and sugar and vanilla and pecans and melted everything. I'm trying to think if they put any butter in it. I'm not sure what they did. But anyway, and they had chocolate on the top of their bread pudding. So if you've got, and listen, you don't have to make it this big. If you have 4 biscuits, just do 2 eggs and put a little stuff in it, okay? You can cut your recipe down. All right, it's beginning to bubble. We want it to bubble. We want that sugar in there to sugar up. What I'm gonna do while that's cooking, I'm gonna make me just a little bit of a holes here and there. Some of it will go down in it. Thanks and I are fixing to go to the grocery store, and we're going to determine well, we're going to determine what we're going to eat for supper first. We ain't even decided. I think she's texting all the girls. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. See how that's bubbling? Just get it all good and hot and bubbly. Pour it all on the top of it. It'll be so good. And it'll be good with some black coffee. So if you've got loaf bread, French bread, biscuits, I've never made it with cornbread. All I've got in here is white lily biscuits and, but I have made it with the French bread. I just go buy me a loaf of French bread and I made it with that. That's delicious. It's muggy hot today. Y'all, in South Alabama, there's a difference hot. You got dry hot and you got muggy hot. We are muggy hot today. That means you're sticky. You're sticky. All right, that's enough. You see how that, get over here and look at it so you'll know what to do. See how it's thickening up? That egg is making it thick in there, that one egg and the sugar. Okay, that's it. Let me put that over the top of this now. Turn that off. Okay, I'm gonna pour it over the top. And I'm going to spread it out with the back of a spatula or a spoon or something. This pan is so heavy. Either the pans are getting heavier or I'm getting weaker. I don't know what the deal is. Whew. Let me put it in the sink. We'll run a little water over it. And I'm going to spread this out now so that everybody gets some topping. We'll let it cool a few minutes and I'll get me some and taste it. When we go to the grocery store, I may get some of that stuff you shake up. Whipped cream, that'd be pretty on top, wouldn't it? Maybe put a whole pecan on top of that. Make it look good for the girls. They are so excited to be out of school, I know that. All right. Boy, that looks good. Let me show it to you. Up close and personal. See there? Bread pudding. And remember, you can put any kind of tops on it that you want to put. You can make the rum salts like it's in my recipe book. I make that sometimes, but since I was serving little girls, I decided I'd just make cinnamon and butter and sugar. And then you can make that figure out you a chocolate topping. You can use any kind of bread. You can change the recipe. In other words, if you didn't want to make a big old casserole like that's in the recipe book, what you could do is just have half a loaf of your French bread and maybe put 2 or 3 eggs in it and some sugar. You can do this, y'all. You do not have to have a recipe to make bread pudding. I put one in there for you because some of you feel insecure in that it may not turn out right. But if you cook it and when it gets a slight jiggle, take it out. And if it kind of taste okay before you put it in there with your vanilla and sugar and butter and all those good things, it's gonna turn out good, y'all. So good luck with it. Enjoy you some bread pudding. You want me to taste it? Hold on a minute, let me get me a bowl. I hate to taste it, but the girl's not even here yet. They'll say, oh, what happened to that little piece of it? I'll just kind of get a little bit right here in the corner. Okay, let me show you. There's the top of it, and let me kind of turn it over so you can see the bottom. That's the bottom. See, it's firmed up. And you got the topping and the bottom. Woo! Hot. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. As George says, that tastes moreish. That means you gotta have some more. But I'm not gonna get any more because I want to be pretty when they come. I'm not refrigerating it. You don't refrigerate bread pudding. The only time you refrigerate bread pudding is if you make it up ahead of time and you don't cook it, that egg that's in it, you need to put it in the refrigerator and the milk till the next morning. That's so good. Y'all can do this. Make you some bread pudding. Get my recipe books. I made 2 of them. And they're all simple. They're all good. They're all just regular stuff. You ain't got to have 15 ingredients to make it. It's good, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.